domestic violence is one of the most heinous crimes that one can think of. It is very cowardly, and it is really a show of our own animalistic tendencies to exert our power over somebody who is vulnerable. And for a spiritual organization, a community, or a person who is spiritually inclined, it is unthinkable to consider how hypocritical this would be. That on one hand we accept Krishna as the Lord, is the Father of all living beings, and everybody is equal under our eternal Father. And and Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita that the wife, she is my daughter, she is not your property. So for the husband to think, or for the wife to think that the spouse is their property, is completely against the principles that Krishna has told us. And the effects that this violence that has on the home, it's devastating. The atmosphere in the house would be terrifying. Can you imagine what impact it has on the children, on the other occupants, maybe parents? And typically in an Indian household, where families are very important, I mean, there is constant attrition, hostility, fear, intimidation. It would be just the antithesis to what we call a spiritual atmosphere. When we are talking of coming closer to Krishna, and on the other hand we are going away from all his principles, and that too exerting our false ego, the manifestation to the highest limits, to exert control over the spouse. This is one of the most dastardly acts. The self-esteem, the confidence, the self-confidence of the person can be completely destroyed. I mean, you break the morale, you then bring hatred, bring resentment, all the emotions which are completely detrimental to having a peaceful existence in a house. A spiritual life means that we're striving towards an atmosphere of peace, of sacrifice, selflessness, kindness. Nothing in this exists. This will be completely the opposite. And just because of our actions, and then on top of it, we want it to that nobody knows about it, because it's all behind doors. So these activities, thinking that they're not being seen outside, not known outside, that you can exert your mastery over someone behind closed doors, we do not see the impact it has, the scars that remain. Children, women, both, the scars that remain for their life, and the bitterness, the hatred, the anger that comes, how their lives are molded. Many studies have shown that in children, those who come from homes with where they've seen violence, the impact it has had on them, either then aggressive behavior, or then depression, or they have taken to criminal activities. There's an overwhelming clear tendency towards that. But because it is not seen now, we don't see that, and we don't feel we are connected to it. So if we are talking about following a spiritual path, we are actually slapping Krishna on the face. Because exactly what Krishna is telling us, we're doing the opposite. And we're pretending, just like in Krishna's book, the story of Vatsasur, the demon, who pretends to be a calf. We are also pretending to be a very nice, docile, 16-round chanting devotee externally. And if we are exerting this kind of behavior at home, then we are no different than Ravan or any other such demon. Just imagine, the wife is also somebody's sister, somebody's daughter. If you have a sister, if you have a daughter, would you like your wife or your sister or your daughter to be going through such things with their homes? I mean, I have my daughters married. It is, we have so much anxiety that they're in comfort, they're staying together, they're happy. So similarly, our wives, parents and family would also be considering that. So if not anything else, at least for the sake of humanity, basic behavior, forget the spiritual part, that also should at least bring some kind of sense to us that how can we be so inhuman to exert this kind of violence upon someone and try to get away. It is a criminal activity, no less.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.